Yeah. Coke fair, press some head, let's get in the car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls ran through, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the hand, I wait, not dead, she tweet, I guess she confessed, she thinking less, I'm drinking less. Bathroom says, best it gets, spontaneous, I stereotype. Put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyrim as a rock like fireworks.
Boom, 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 boom. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm. Your host, Matt Clark, and of course, this is the Thunder post-game analysis show that we actually tell you what the hell happened after the game, because I was listening to the radio broadcast and he said some stuff, and I was like, what are you talking about? And I know that the Thunder's job is to make you guys feel better about what happened or whatever, but the bottom line is we're going to break it down and tell you exactly what happened and why we lost the game. He breaks it down to fatigue. They're 21 years old. There's no way in hell you're tired from back to back. Yeah, you had a tough game last night, but it was yesterday morning. That you're done, and 27 hours later you can't, or 20, what was it? The game was over with at 2. You don't play again until 6:30. Really? You're talking about 30 hours later you're not recovered? And you guys, most of those guys rested, so I'm not buying that. But that's the stuff that they're selling out here, and I'm over it. That's a bunch of crap. That's not what happened, and we're gonna break it down for you tonight on the After the Storm, the Thunder post game analysis show. So let's get right into it. Today, if you watched my show, The Unpopular Hour, we talked about the keys, and like I always said, when I do a show that day, and or I do the Unpopular Hour that day, and then at night we have a Thunder game, I always do my keys, and here are the keys to the game. We've got to get off to a good start, which, boom, check that off, we did that. Cut down on turnovers at the beginning, boom, check, we did that. We have to limit their open looks, check, we did that. We have to attack the paint, and we did that. And then we can't settle for threes, which we did at the end. So anyway, those are the things that I had put off, and I talked about those today on the Unpopular Hour. And remember, you can search YouTube, The Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark, and subscribe, like, and hit notification. And every time we're on during the day, we'll pop that up, and we're getting ready to expand and do some other stuff. Now, remember, in the next few weeks, you will be able to call in and talk to me live and ask questions. Okay, so the show will be expanding past the 45 minutes that we talk. Currently, we're going to be able to expand prior to that, and then once we get up to 1,000 users on YouTube, you're going to be able to go to YouTube and interact with other people who are like-minded about the Thunder. So I'm excited about those things. But anyway, those are the things that I started and I came up with. So at the beginning of the game, we started out with SGA, Josh, J-Dub, Dort, and Poku. And, I'm excited about Poku. He's been playing really well the last 3 games. I'm going to give him his props. I told you I'm not a fan of his. He was young, but he's basically kind of settled in his role. He's a shot blocker. I'm going to knock down shots when I get them. I'm not going to be trying to take people off the dribble and get all out of control. I'm going to play within myself, and as long as he does that, the Thunder are very successful and will win a lot of games, or at least be in games. And so, anyway, Poku off to another good start. J-Dub got us rolling really, really early. I thought that was good of SGA. Once he made a couple shots, SGA got him involved, so did Josh, giving him passes and stuff like that to give him more, I don't want to say encouragement, but, his third start of the year. Got his career high of 14 points, but he got off early, and then SGA just once the offense got a little stagnant in the first quarter, he stepped up and did what he needed to do, and then of course he goes deep into his bag. But on the other side, Jaylen Brown was doing what he wanted to do with us as well. We just didn't have an answer for him. He's one of the top 15 best players in the NBA, and we don't have anything that can really, Dort can do that, but then what do you do with Jason Tatum? You can put, Shea on him and then put Dort on on Jason Tatum or vice versa. But it's just those two going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And of course, Shea was giving them both the business, along with the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. SGA was giving them the business as well. But I will say this: what a great game it was! A great first quarter. The Thunder, they did not back down. They got off to a good start, and that's part of, you saw in my keys. It's just, you've got to get off to a good start every quarter. You can't, get in there and you start people that just aren't ready to play. They're just not on that level. There are guys who come off the bench, and you're trying to start them in a quarter, and it killed us in the fourth. Simply because of what you were doing. And then on the other side of that, Josh played terrible because he's still adapting to the fact that he's not in Australia playing in that European or that world whatever league or tournament or whatever it was. This is the league. That crap that you're getting away with over there, those players aren't these guys. Josh, you can't just go spin. A guy spins you, and you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you spin right into a double team. We used to do that all the time when I played. We'd get the guy going one way, Randy Wright, boom, he spin back. I'm sitting right there waiting on him. Or vice versa, I get him going one way, I turn him, he turns right back into Randy Wright, still easy layup. I mean, it's basic basketball. Do not turn your back to the defense. You've got to know where they're at. You cannot just go spinning around, being all loose with the ball, and Josh has been real loose with that. But he's going to get better. He's going to get back in NBA mentality versus overseas mentality where you can throw left-handed passes and, throw this and that because you think the guy's open when the defender is just seriously just going, oh, that guy, you gonna throw that? Thank you very much. Zoop, suck that up and move on down the road. So that's basically what happened to the Thunder in the first quarter. We played hard. We got off to a good start. We played good, solid defense. We didn't allow them a bunch of open looks. We got hands in their face. They were terrible from the three-point line. And you can see the first quarter stats will let you know exactly what I was talking about in the first quarter. The Thunder were up 35-32 at the end of one. You see what I mean by no open looks. The Celtics 2 for 12. From the three-point line, shooting 44% from the field, 14 rebounds, 16 pips. You guys know I love pips. Points in the paint. 2 turnovers, and then, of course, Oklahoma City 4 for 9 from 3, and 50% from the field, 13 ribbies, 16 pips, 2 turnovers, and, of course, bench scoring wasn't really a factor, but, the Thunder 4 for 9. Why? Because we're getting out. They're shooting long. Remember what I've talked about many, many times, and you guys, I'm going to harp on this until you all understand and be able to see it when you're at Thunder games. Long shots, which are three-pointers, equal long rebounds, which equal transitional baskets, getting back, getting you to the floor of the game, whether that's a dunk, whether that's a 3-on-1 fast break, or it's a mid-range. And when you knock that down, all of a sudden threes are a lot easier because you're not trying to stand out there in the offense where you're stagnant, haven't done anything, trying to make threes without having any kind of rhythm. And what long rebounds and getting out in transition does, it gives you the ability to get in rhythm. And then once the Thunder in rhythm, we are very good three-point. We're not very good. We are a good three-point, better than average three-point shooting team when we get out in transition, get some easy baskets, get into a flow of the game. Then I don't mind us shooting threes, but just sit back. We do have several guys who are determined that's what they are. They think they're three-point shooters, and it just killed us at the end of the game in the fourth quarter when the Celtics made their run. You got these guys in there, and I'm just going, our coach, he just frustrates the shit out of me. I'm sorry. He just frustrates me because I'm just going, bro, you're 2 minutes too long. And tonight, that's what he was. 2 minutes too long. When they have their best players on the court, you have to match them with your best players. If that's 9 minutes to go, I don't care that Shea played last night. Put Shea back in the game. I don't care if he was out 3-4 minutes. You have to have your best players on the court. And the Thunder did not do that. But in the second quarter, you started Josh, Dort, Poku, K-Will, and J. Will. And I was good seeing Jalen Williams from Arkansas on the court because he's long, he's athletic, and we needed that. Plus, he hasn't played, so he's fresh legs. which allows him to get out there and defend because Boston is long and they are athletic. And I just think if the guy played more, he could contribute a lot more because of his size, and especially when we play against athletic front courts. He's much better than what we have to offer. And then Poku, of course, just playing really, really, really well uh, the whole game, first and second quarter. Uh, but anyway, I thought that having him being athletic against their athleticism was a nice pickup. I will say Coach D made a nice room. The coaching staff, that was a nice pickup by recognizing that, giving him the chance. Now, once again, starting, with him and Kendrick Williams starting, I've talked about this. If you've been following me, I'm not a fan of those guys, of Kendrick Williams starting. He's a bench guy, but what do you have? You don't have a Baisley, so you're kind of stuck on what you can do. But I'm gonna start Aaron Wiggins again. I'm gonna start Aaron Wiggins. He's a better defender. I like what he has to offer. But he played a lot last night. Played some great defense. But once again, he's in love with Kendrick Williams, and like I said, he's a good little player. But he's a bench player coming out starting the quarter. I'm just not a fan of that. And then the Celtics, of course, stayed tough and stayed with us, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And, the Thunder, to their credit, maintained a good start. Every time the Celtics will come, we had an answer coming back and forth. And then with 3:55 left, uh, the Thunder up 60-57. You have SGA. Who do we have? We had SGA, J. or Robinson Earl, Dort, K. Williams once again, and then you had to put Josh in there. And the thing about this is that Josh ended the half. This he had a horrible game. Okay, taking care of the basketball. Once, how do I even say this without sounding bad? Uh, as a ball player, when somebody's a little rattled, okay, and you pick their pocket and you watch what they do, they get cavalier with how they're going about things. They're like, oh, I've got this, I'm just cavalier. You pick their pocket. And then when you pick their pocket, they get to the point where then all of a sudden they get defensive. And then once they get defensive, then you really got them, because now they're focusing on everything but being free, going to the basket, attacking, and they want to get in attack mode. Then they're going to make mistakes because now you stole the ball from them, so they're going to come back, and then now their mentality is not right, and then they make another mistake, which is what basically happened with Josh. They suckered him in there, and he went for the old rope-a-dope. He went for the old rope-a-dope. And, I don't know how to really say this if you haven't played, so I'm just trying to explain it to you as best as possible in layman's terms. For you ball basketball players who are really good, you understand exactly what I'm trying to say. But Josh, Marcus Smart and them got into his head. Daniel White, they got Danny White, they got in his head. It was over. They wrapped him up, and they picked him apart at the end of the first half and picked him apart at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Come on, Josh. They set you up, and, but once again, Josh's mentality is he just got back from playing from Australia. He's over there just dominating, doing whatever the hell he wants. Then he comes back over here, and you can watch his games that he's struggling kind of to try to get back mentality on what he does. Because when you're over here, and then he finished what he did the way he did last year, and then he goes over there, he's dominating, and things are so easy, he gets cavalier. Forgetting that the reason why they're so much easier is because of his mentality and the way he plays here. So maintaining that attitude, he did not do. So when he comes back, it's a lot harder for him. And then the Celtics just saw that, and Marcus Smart and them fed off that immediately. And that's great. That's why he's the Defensive Player of the Year. That's why they understand the Celtics are long. They put pressure on you. That's why they lead the NBA in categories as far as on-ball defense. They're long, they're athletic, and they put pressure on you. And if you get to the point where you're casual, you're in trouble. And then what happens? I've said this many times. when you get like when it happens to the Thunder all the time. You get a couple steals, we were up 15. You get a couple steals, boom, boom, boom. You get into a roll, all of a sudden we're young. We don't, SJ is not in there to really save us. And then what happens? You end up losing the lead. They came back, but fortunately for us, SGA was there in the second quarter and was able to, anytime somebody came and made a run, he was able to thwart that run. So halftime here is the stat. Here are the stats. Celtics down 62-69 to the Thunder. They're shooting 5 of 20 from three. 5 of 20 from three. And what I like about what I was seeing right there is that, remember, the first quarter they were 2 for 12. Okay, so they were 2 for 12. So that meant they were 3 for 8 for that to the second quarter. Once again, what do we talk about? The keys to the game: getting your hands up in their face, not giving them open looks, trying your best to keep them in front of you, controlling the paint as best you possibly can. Don't turn the ball over. So what happened in the first quarter, first half? We're up 7, only 6 turnovers to their 8. We were 7 for 18. Once again, you're taking threes, you're good threes, but we did have a couple of just threes where, we're gonna shoot. Let me get my three, and let me get my three, and I'm a 3-point. Let me show you the league. I'm a 3-point shooter. What you're gonna do is shoot your butt out of the league because you can't shoot, and you take ill-advised threes. And like I said, I don't mind us shooting threes. It's when you shoot them. What are the circumstances when you do take the shot? Are you in rhythm, or are you just trying to throw up a shot to make a shot? Well, when you're rushing it and you're not a good 3-point shooter, guess what? You're going to miss. They're going to get a rebound. They're going to get out in transition and make things happen. Thunder 47% from the field, 23 rebounds, 26 pips, but only 6 turnovers. So we were taking care of the ball the first half, except for right there in the first quarter. So, 10 to 11 bench scoring, pretty equal when it came to that. So the Thunder overall, I'm liking what I was seeing at that point as far as what we were trying to accomplish. But at the same time, you could see them baiting Josh. They were baiting him, saying, "Okay, like when I play against somebody, I'm gonna like, okay, let me see what he does. Oh, okay, let me pick his pocket right here. I'm gonna save that one for later. I'm gonna pick that later. I got these 2 spots. If I need a steal, I can get him later right there, and I'm gonna set him up. He's gonna do this right here. Bam, I got my ball. I'm out." So that's kind of what happened. But the Thunder, uh, overall, because of SGA, he allowed us to continue to put pressure on them, and how do I say this? By him being able, by having him, what he does is he allows us the ability to, uh, do multiple things. Okay, he allows us the ability to, uh, where the hell did that go? That just pisses me off every time it does that. Uh, I have to fix that. But anyway, he's just an absolute maniac. I love what SGA does, and him being able to stop the opposing team. I was trying to cut that off and put the show on, but it's for some reason it hit it. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to. I'm trying to get it to where it will be public, not private, but I think I hit the wrong button trying to mess with that. So, anyway. Well, that's being said, let's play some bills real quick. We want to thank our sponsors, Collaborative Logic. If you have any IT needs, those are the people that you want to talk to. They can help you streamline your office by adding different things to that. They can also allow you to uh, to do websites and things like that for you, which they are fantastic. I mean, fantastic at if you want to do that. They also allow you the ability to buy computers and to upgrade your office to make things that much better for you to deal with. So, SRB, Mark Long, if you have any needs that you have for Mark, they can help you get that done. Oak Grove Trucking, Jose Fierro, and then Max and Greg Nafee at Nafco. Last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. The bank that makes things happen. They certainly do. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC. If you want to pre qualify for any loans online, those are the people that you want to get with. They can help you at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Go use them. They'll be happy to go. Once you get your loans done, you walk in, you can see Nathan Taylor, Joe Horn, Carson Wright, and they'll be more than happy to get you where you need to go. Well, Thunder, thus far, I will say this, I was pleasantly surprised because Thunder taking a lead right now was going, okay, what's going to happen? I'm listening to the thing, oh, they played last night, they're going to be tired, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hell, I was never tired. I mean, we played games, we played tournaments 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. I wasn't tired. I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, I came back and played. I'm ready to go. Let's go. What are you doing? Now, when you play 6 games in 8 nights or 9 nights, then you're tired. But day 2, how the hell are you tired? 30 hours later, you ain't got no rest. What you do? You're in Boston. I mean, it's a short trip from New York to Boston. It's not like you're traveling from New York to L.A. Then I could see that. But New York to Boston? I mean, please. Spare me that nonsense. Okay, starting the third quarter, the Thunder started with SGA, Josh, Dort, Poku, J-Dub. Liked what I saw with that lineup. And my keys for the second half were simple. Thunder, continue to play within yourselves. Keep the Celtics in front of you. Don't start giving them open looks. And the main thing is take care of the basketball. If we can continue to take care of the basketball, because remember what I said last night, we had 2 games in a row, we had 19 turnovers, remember? And even though we won them both, what I said is if you have 19 turnovers against the Celtics, we're going to lose the game. You cannot turn the ball over against them. You just cannot. And I said that if you have 19 turnovers, you're not going to, they are not Toronto, okay? You're not going to beat them with 19 turnovers. That's not going to happen. So, anyway, that was part of my thing. And then, of course, what happens? 69-63, they go on a 14-6 run to close out the third quarter. We started out pretty good, but then it's just, I mean, it's just very frustrating. But the bright side about what I thought about the third quarter is that we lead the league with 31 points. We're the best in the third quarter. We average 31 points a game third quarter. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to be able to weather this storm. And then what happens at the end of the third quarter? Now they go on a 14-6 run. We're not taking care of the basketball. They just start in on us with the defensive pressure. We're getting lackadaisical, which is what I was talking about with Josh and what he was doing at the end of the half. They were setting him up in the third quarter, which is exactly what happened. They set him up. They got a couple steals. He's turning without paying attention to where the hell the ball is. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And that's what ended up happening. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. They got into a groove off of their defense, just like we get into grooves off of our defense. How do you think we've been winning games? How do you think we're doing what we're doing? Off the defensive side of the basketball. The defensive side of basketball gets you out in transition. It gets you easy baskets. It gets you into the flow of the game. And we're at home, it gets our crowd into it. When you're on the road, it gets their crowd into it. And when you're playing on the road, it gets you into it against their crowd, and it keeps them quiet, which is what we had done the first quarter and the second quarter. That's exactly what we had been doing. We had been keeping their crowd out of it, not allowing them to really get into it. Keeping them out. But the lead that we had built, it was slowly. You could just see it at the third quarter. You could just see, even though we were still winning, you could just see the shift. I mean, basketball is a game of runs. You got to run, I make a run, you make a run, I make a run. It's a game of runs. And it was so frustrating watching that. I'm just going, here the hell they come. And I saw it. I saw it coming. And I think those of you who have played basketball, you saw it too. You saw it too. And it's just frustrating because you know when it comes, there's nothing you can do. Even when you're playing, you know there's I mean, you know there's nothing you can do. They're rolling. Just like when we're rolling, there's nothing they can do. When you're rolling, you're rolling. And I knew I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here we go. And they close us out with a 14-6 run with 7 turnovers in the third quarter at the end. 7 turnovers. And it was just they got the defensive pressure going. We didn't have the right group in there. By the time you did put the right group in there to try to finish out, and it's a substitution pattern, the way he does things and who you have on the court at that particular time. And they got into a roll, and the Thunder just couldn't handle it. I mean, let's face it, the Thunder could not handle it. And then we look at the end of the third quarter box score. Celtics 89, Thunder 96. We're still up 7. You can see the Celtics 6 for 29 from 3, 42% from the field, 37 rebounds, 48 points in the paint, 11 turnovers. And you can see right there, Oklahoma City 10 for 25 from 3, 48%, 41 rebounds, 40 pips, 14 turnovers. So that's 8 turnovers. And remember, we had 7 really, really late. And that's 8 turnovers. Or really, it was 7, not 8. So the numbers were messed up because I was going off the numbers off of uh, the internet versus going off the numbers off the Thunder app. That's what I should have done. Bench scoring: Celtics 19, Oklahoma City 15 off the bench. Our bench guys, it was the starters going at it tonight. The bench guys just weren't there, and let's face it, we're the youngest team in the league. We just don't have guys who can really go and perform on a high level on a regular basis. I mean, it is what it is. We are a couple of players away. Are we good? We're pretty good. Do I like our team? Very much so. Can we get there? Yes, we can. Will we get there? Yes, we will. But right now, it's just very frustrating. But anyway, you can see that 6 for 29 for them, 10 for 25. And the only reason why we're winning is because they're not being able to knock down threes like they normally would. And it's because we're playing fantastic defense on them, not allowing them to do a whole lot. So that was the key for us in doing staying in this game and winning and being up 96-89. So to start the fourth quarter, we start with Josh, K. Will, J. Will, Poku, and Wiggins. And I saw that and I just went, here we go. Now, remember, they're putting pressure on us. Okay. Now, Trey Mann is not in the Trey Mann, he got hurt. I was, I misstepped last night by saying what I said about him last night in New York about about them putting him out, but he hurt himself. That's why he only played 3 minutes. So my apologies to you, Trey. I mean, and I don't have any problem saying that. Like I said, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. It is what it is. Part of being a man is being able to submit when you're wrong. And I was wrong on that. So anyway, hope you get better, big fella, but we need him. So that being said, you have Josh, K. Will, J. Will, Poku, and Wiggins. So basically your point guard right here is Josh. They've just put pressure on you. They've just turned you over late to cut into your lead. And you have Josh as your only true guard who can handle the basketball. Do I need to talk about what happened? They slowly just chipped at us. And all of a sudden, we go from up 15, up 7, up 15 to down to score tied. So I'm just going, it's just frustrating to me as a person who's watching basketball to see what he did, where he started right there. I mean, coaching staff, what are you looking at? you're turning the ball over and you put Josh in there as your only ball handler. He just got ripped. They're keen to, those guys who play before, they know exactly what's happening. They see it coming. And then you don't give him another ball handler. There's Isaiah Joe. We can have another ball handler out there, and you don't give him one. I don't get that. And then on top of that, with Kendrick Williams, I don't understand that either. You can't have Kendrick Williams and Wiggins. Those are the same players basically. Wiggins is a decent ball handler, but not under pressure like that. So I didn't really get that. I was not a fan of what he was doing right there. They start getting into a groove, and then once, like the Celtics, they get into a groove, it is what it is. But with 8 minutes left, you have Isaiah Joe, Poku, Dort, Wiggins, and Kendrick Williams in there. And you're only up, what was it? You're up 8 at this point. 7. And then all of a sudden, here they come. So then with 103, we're up 107, 103. They got 22 fast break points at this point, and we have 19 turnovers. They're just coming at us. And then once they got into it, then all of a sudden you got SGA, Dort, K. Will, J. Dub in there with how much time's left? 5 minutes to go. And I'm going, where the hell is Josh? Why is Kendrick Williams in the game? Where the hell is Josh? And then what happens? 107 with 5:40. Okay, then all of a sudden he wants to bring everybody in. Well, hell, it's too late. You're 2 minutes too late, bro. You wait 2 minutes too long to put SGA in there. As soon as I saw them coming, first of all, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I have 2 ball handlers, not 1, to start the quarter. Second thing is, as soon as I see that there's a run, I got to put my best player on the court if I'm trying to win. That's the second thing I'm doing. Putting SGA in the game. I don't care if he's had 3 minutes. Let's go. Because you think he's not going to want to win? You don't think he wants to go play? And you don't put him in there? Come on now. Of course he does. But it was too late because the Celtics got on a run. And then it's 115. You got SGA, Poku, Dort, J-Dub, and Josh in the game. But it's too late. It's too late. The Celtics on a roll, and Marcus Smart, 20 points in the second half. He just dominated us. My guy, Marcus, second OSU player after me to play for the USA Junior World Team. And then, of course, he and I both own the sophomore single game scoring record. And, of course, that would not have lasted if Caleb had stayed. That would have been gone. He would have erased that sophomore scoring record. So, but anyway, Marcus just showed everything. He just scored. We could not stop him. He did everything just like he was in Stillwater. He was scoring. He was playing defense. He was all over the place. He was pestering. He was doing Marcus Smart type things, and you can see that game was over. The game was over. I mean, I was like, when you're not putting your best player in there, when you see the run coming, the momentum had completely shifted. You have nobody out there to stop the run. You have nobody to quiet the crowd. You have nobody out there. And then once you put him out there, he tried to do what he tried to do, but it was just too much, too late, and they were on a fire. That's why they're 11-3. That's why they won their 7th straight. They're on fire. So, that being said, here are the final game stats. Celtics finish 11-3, ousting the Thunder 126-122. Oklahoma City, of course, dropping to 6-8, and once again, we should be 7-8. Because that was a BS thing, us losing to Milwaukee the way we did, but, whatever. 3-point percentage, the Celtics, 10 for 37, 47%, 52 rebounds, 64 pips, 14 turnovers. You can see they took care of the basketball. We, however, did not. And once again, I said you can't have games where you have multiple 20-point, 19-point turnovers against a good team like the Celtics. They're going to beat you. I said that, and that's exactly what happened. You have to take care of the basketball. And I'm not listening to the radio people talking about it's fatigue. That's a bunch of crap. You didn't have the right guys out there. They made a run, and you had one guard. And they already had Josh's number. So that was the end of that. Oklahoma City 11 for 30, 48% from the field, 56 rebounds, 58 pips, 20 turnovers. Crazy. And then, of course, we only got 18 bench points. So when we do, one of my favorite things is comparing uh, the first half to the second half. The reason why I do that is because I want to give you guys, the people who follow it, and that I'm trying to help become as knowledgeable as possible about the game. You can see the difference between the Thunder's first half versus the way the Thunder second half. What adjustments the coaches make or did not make, because the numbers tell what the numbers are, except that the numbers do not talk about the fact that you only have one guard out there in the fourth quarter when the defensive pressure was as best as at its maximum, and you need to get a run to start the fourth quarter, and you only have one guard out there who can handle the ball. And they had already had his number. Now, you can't tell me that Eric Maynard, one of those guys on the bench, had not seen and saw what was coming and could not go, hey, coach, we need to have two guys out there. Somebody needs to be able to step up and go, coach, we need two guards out there. The pressure's too much. We got to have two guards out there. Now, not having Trey Mann, cool. You got Isaiah Joe. He is more than able to handle the pressure of them because he played for Philly. So he got to play Boston, 4 times a year? So he already knew what was happening. So you could have put Isaiah Joe in there with him, which you did later, but, whatever, the game was over with at that point. Comparing the first half to the second half, the Celtics, you can see, look at that. 62 points the first half, 126 the second half. I mean, they just put it on us. Whereas you can see us, on the other hand, 69 and 122. They were 5 for 17 from three the second half. 5 for 17. Great defense by the Thunder. Like I said, getting our hands in their faces, not allowing them just to do whatever they wanted to do. And then us, on the other hand, were 4 for 12 the second half. 4 for 12. But a lot of that was taking shots at the end when they were ill-advised shots. Don't take the shot. What are you doing? Why are you shooting that? It's driving me crazy. But you see points in the paint, pips, they were only up by 4 at half, and they finished 6 at half. Turnovers, we only were 2 down, and we ended up being 6 down. And, of course, they just took advantage of us when they needed to. And, part of the reason why I want you guys to be able to see that is so that in your mind you can know and you can see what the Thunder are doing and not doing. That's why I do that, and that's one of my favorite things is comparing the first half stats to the second half stats so you can become more informed. So, because I believe that the more informed you are as a fan, the more you'll be able to watch the game, the more you can enjoy the game because you know more. It's just like a woman. If you're dating somebody who doesn't know about sports, she's not really having a good time. Yeah, she's there, but she ain't really having a good time, or vice versa if you're a female and a guy doesn't like sports. And he's there for you. The more he knows, the more she knows, the more she's going to want to go, and the more enjoyable the game is. It's that simple. The more you know about the game, the more enjoyable the game is. And I just wish that the Thunder would have that mentality where they teach you more about the game instead of just, oh, they're tired. Don't make excuses. Tell the truth. Now, the difference is I can say that the coach didn't have the right guys out there. I can say that. I can say they're putting pressure on him, and he put one guard out there. They're not going to say that because that makes him look bad. I don't care whether it makes you look bad or not. I'm just telling you the truth so that the next time you see that and you see a run, you look out there, where's my other guard at? Why do we only have one guard out there? Why do we only have one ball handler? That's just the way that I view it, okay? And I want you guys to be more informed. I want you to understand what's going on out there. Box scoring, SGA, he's an all-star. What is he, 6th, I think, in scoring in the NBA or something like that at 31 a game. But anyway, 37 points again tonight, 13 for 26. That's 50%. He's not shooting a whole lot, just efficient as all get out. 2 for 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, only 4 turnovers, which still 8 rebounds, 2-1. You can live with that. You'd prefer 3-1, which means assist to turnover ratio. But 2-1 is not bad considering he has the ball in his hands. He did not have 8 blocks. That we had 1 block. Yeah, he was a beast in there blocking 8 shots. Josh Giddey, 16 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. He shot a couple of ill-advised threes. Josh, just go take it to the basket. If you're not knocking them down, just pull up and shoot mid-range and shoot your little floater. Please, just don't stand out there and shoot threes. It just does not help us. 7 rebounds, but the big thing, 7 turnovers. They just had him locked in. They knew exactly what to do to Josh, and they just took full advantage of him, which, as players, you should. Uh, Lou Dort, 21 points, 7 for 18. That's way too many damn shots. I hate it when he shoots that much and then he takes threes at ill-advised times. But once he thinks he's a player and he can score, once again, play within yourselves and understand what your game is. He clearly does not know what his game really is. It's what he thinks his game is. His game is not what he thinks, and clearly his stats show that. 3 for 7 from 3, I'll take that. Still way too. Look at he and Josh. They were 4 for 13 from 3. 2 guys, 4 for 13 from 3. Tells you all you need to know why the lead went in the toilet. 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 1 assist. Poku once again with once again, what a good game. Like I told you, not a big fan, but he's been playing well the last 4 games. If he can continue to do that, I have no problem with him doing what he needs to do. 16 points, 7 for 12, 2 for 4, 14 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 2 assists, 3 blocks. He's basically what you're going to see out of Chet. That's what you're seeing out of Poku. Those are Chet numbers. Except I don't see Chet scoring. He's going to have games where he's 16, but he's going to be more the 12 to 14-point average per game. J-Dub, 14 points, 3rd start of the year of his career. Great job. Congratulations on your career high. 14 points, 6 for 9, 2 for 5. Great efficiency, 6 rebounds, 1 turnover, 2 assists. Like everything about what I saw out of the young man. Wiggins, 4 points. Remember, he had 17 last night, only 4 tonight. Bro, can't have you up and down being inconsistent like that. We need you to do. Isaiah Joe, 1 point. Dude, those 2 free throws he missed getting fouled on the 3. And the Thunder needed those 3 points to slow down their run. And he did not give it to us. It just really, man, that hurt us. Boy, that just killed us. But anyway, 0 for 1, 0 for 1, 3 rebounds. Robinson Earl, 4 points. Remember, he had a big night last night. Once again, 2 for 4, 0 threes. Probably our best 3-point shooter consistently. Really liked him, but he just not give us what we needed tonight. Jay Will, athletic. I like him. I like what he really brings if he could just play more, but for whatever reason, they're holding him out. Once again, I'm not at practice. I don't know how players play in practice. Once again, I can't really speak on things that I don't really know because I'm not there. Kendrick Williams, 7 points, 3 for 6, 1 for 2, 1 rebound, and I like the kid, but as you all know, I've never been a big fan of his. Uh, I like Roby better than I liked him. And Roby is doing what Roby does. But, I mean, the Thunder, like I said, they liked him. And, you know, it is what it is. So, uh, anyway, the Thunder drop to 6-8, losing to the Celtics on back-to-back nights. 122 to 126 in the Garden, blowing the 15-point lead simply because couldn't take care of the basketball. Could not take care of the basketball. Frustrating. But anyway, I'm proud of our team. Nobody, if you thought the Thunder were going to be 6-8 right now, you're a guru. Nobody expected them to be 6-8. Everybody expected them to be 4 or 2-12, 3-11, something like that, kind of like what the Rockets are. That's what everybody expected out of the Thunder. But the Rockets don't have a SGA. We do. Thunder don't have a Josh Giddey. We do. We just got to get Josh to step up and realize you're in America now. You're not over there playing in the world games against those weak dudes over there playing that soft European ball. You're just not there anymore. Okay? That being said, I hope everybody's having a fantastic night. Hope you enjoyed this edition. And remember, you can go to YouTube, search After the Storm slash o dash OKC Thunder, subscribe, like, hit notifications, and then also my Facebook. I'm going to make that where it's open. I've got to figure out how to get it back online. So, that being said, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Peace out. Be safe tonight. And do me a favor, stay warm.